Okay, welcome to another interesting edition of our accounting software videos where we try to share some of the we try to answer some of the basic questions you may be asking regarding QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online and all that. So in this sections, we're going to discuss how to receive payments in QuickBooks. How to receive payments in QuickBooks is very important because as a business owner, you have to be able to track all the money that you have actually spent and all the money you have received, so that at the end of the day you're able to know whether you're making profits or not. So in doing that, mind you, I actually explained in one of my tutorial how invoice is different from your receipts. So I said invoice is used for a credit transaction while receipt is used for a cash transaction. So if you actually entered a receipt payment for particular sales transaction, automatically cash has been collected because I said receipt is used for a cash transaction. That means at the point of selling that product or services, the customer actually paid cash. So on the sale receipt window, you can actually pay the money into the bank. Now, so in this section now, we are going to be talking more about the invoice section, because when you sell on credit, you are actually hoping to receive your payment at a later date. So that is the receive payment we're talking about. When those clients or when those customers come to you and they pay finally, how do you enter that payment in QuickBooks and all that? I explained how to enter an invoice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sell a product in credit, then I'm also going to receive that payment. So to do that, you go to your sales transaction. When you go to transaction, you now click sales. Now under sales, you're going to select invoice, because before you receive a payment from a customer at a later date, it means that you have actually received you have actually sold to the person. Another way you can also do that again is it might actually be advance payment. So there are two kind of payments we're going to talk about here. We'll talk about the first payment for invoice you have issued for the goods you have sold, and we're talking about payment for advance supply. So here we'll come to new transaction, we'll select invoice. When you go to invoice, it's like we want to sell on credit now. So we're talking about receiving payment for for goods sold on credit. So here you select the name of the customer. So you come here, so say we're using Amazbest Century. You select, so here you enter the details of the product that let's say concrete, and we'll enter the price here. You enter the price here. So you look at this section again. So this is the value. So if there's any sales tax, if there's any discount apply, you can always do that. So here we're going to see discount of 12% here. So apply the discount on this. So we'll review that transaction again. So the balance due is 3,235.32. So here you click save. So we'll save this transaction now. When you come down to this sales transaction report or sales transaction window, you will see the sales we just entered, which is this amount here, but the system is saying this amount is open. Now in receiving this payment, there are two ways to receive payment. Either you do that directly from this sales transaction, you come and you receive payment, or when you go to customer section here, you look for the same customer. This is the customer here, then you click receive payment. You can see that there are two. Either you do it directly on the sales transaction details, or you come to the customer and you can select receive payment. But the easiest way to do that, because you may have several sales transaction or sales entry, so that transaction may actually be hidden and all that. So the best way to receive payment from a particular customer in QuickBooks is to come to the customer section, look for the customer. If the customer is actually not up, probably maybe this is arranged according to letter and you don't want to be scrolling down there much, you can actually use this one to find that customer. So system will suggest the name, then to only load the customer details. You can see that we have it here. So this will show you list of all the transactions you had with that particular customer. So here you trace the invoice that the customer made payment on, then you now click receive payment here. So this is where you receive the payment on the invoice issued. So here you select the same name. Now the payment method is cash, if it's Visa card, whatever method the person is using. So you come and you select cash. So deposit to, that means the bank you're paying the money into. If the bank is not here, you come here, you add new. one thing that makes QuickBooks flexible is that if you have a list of items to select from and what you want to select is not there, you can always add new. So here we are adding our new bank to the system here. So here we'll enter the balance we have, the bank, then we'll click save and close. You click save and close, it comes up here. You can see how straightforward we're able to add without leaving the receive payments window here. So here you drill down, so you can see that we have list of all the invoices. Sometimes when you're receiving payment from a customer, the system will show you all the previous invoices that you have sent to that customer. Click payment could actually be to all the previous invoices or to a selected invoice. If the customer is making a payment on just a selected invoice, you have to tick that invoice. It's very important. Now that if you untick the invoice, let's say the customer is making payment on just this one here, you tick this, it will only pick this amount. But if the amount the customer is paying is less than this, you enter the actual amount here and all that. Very important. So the previous recent invoice we just issued is the second one, and the customer is saying, oh, this is where I want to make my payment, but I'm not paying this whole amount, I'm paying you 3,000. So you come here, you enter the actual amount the customer is paying. Now that you will review that amount again, then you click save. I'm trying to locate this near this record. So when you're done, you just click save here. For the people, because this is where the video is recording, so that's why I didn't click here, because if I click here, this stop recording. So when you come here, you just click save and all that. So system saves that transaction. Let me see if enter would actually help me with that and all that. So I think this is so okay. Like I said, this is just a summary of how to receive payment and all that. So once you click save, transaction will be saved automatically. So that is how to receive payment in QuickBooks. Okay, so do you want to leave without saving? We have to save this. You click yes, but like I said, you have to click save. Probably it's because of this recording, that's why I didn't click save on my own end. Now that's one. Now the second part again is, what if you now receive payments on in advance? Maybe you look at the customer. Let's try and select a customer that is having zero balance. Okay, we have these cool cars, they have zero balance. You click this cool car. Now when you look at this, you could see that they don't have any outstanding balance here. Now what if this particular client now makes a payment? So you come here, you click payments here. What that means is that if you're receiving a payment from a client or from a customer without a balance, system turns it to an advance payment. So you come here, you select the client's name here, then you now enter the actual amount received here. If you enter the amount received here, you come here, you also click save here. So that is how to receive payments from a customer in advance. So here we've talked about receiving payments when you issue an invoice. That means if you are receiving payment for goods you sold on credit, or you're receiving payments in advance, or maybe for future supplies and all that. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any question to ask, just drop your comment there. We're going to answer your question in form of a video, and you're going to receive a message when we answer your question. Thank you very much.